Hey everyone, it's Marshall, founder and business of Life Mastery, where we help entrepreneurs, small business owners, and service professionals take control over their business and really their life so that they can begin to achieve their desired results and live life on their terms, doing the things they love with the people they love. Now, I have a question for you. Are you one of those solopreneurs or service professionals who tends to do everything themselves? You know what I mean? From everything from the marketing of your services, web design, web development, prospecting for new clients, blog posting, social media posts, writing quotations or proposals, doing all of the admin work and the endless piles of paperwork, and even doing your own bookkeeping. Oh, yeah, and somewhere within all of that, you're trying to find time to actually serve your clients, doing the actual service or the thing that you do. Does this sound like you? Do you get overwhelmed by it all? Meanwhile, you see all other people taking time off, spending time with their friends, their family, going on vacations, golfing, skiing, really just enjoying life. And do you ever wonder what it would be like if you could have that? What would it take for you to achieve this? The answer is simple. You need to build a team. I know it sounds simple, right? But it really is that simple. Now, I love analogies because it can really tie together regular life events that we're all familiar with to another area of our life. So today, I'm going to give you a bit of a hockey analogy, basically because I love hockey. So recently, the National Hockey League wrapped up its season by crowning the Washington Capitals Stanley Cup champions. And what really makes this win so special and perfect for this analogy is that the Washington Capitals have had many chances before, but they always came up empty-handed. They were disappointed. They had won their division like 6, 7, maybe even 8 times, and their conference like 3 times, but then they would get knocked out into the playoffs, whether it was the first or second round, year after year after year. They had some of the same players on this team. In fact, most of the players on this team this year were the same from previous years. The difference was that in previous years, their star player, one of the greatest players in the world, Alex Ovechkin, tried to do everything himself. Does it sound familiar? He tried to take the puck and score the goals, kill the penalties, make the hits, the body checks. He tried to carry his team on his back. He took all of the responsibility, whether they won or they lost. It was all about him and what he could do. Then the team, a couple years ago, brought in a new coach with a new philosophy, and Ovechkin changed his approach. Rather than trying to be the guy and doing things himself, he realized he needed help. He realizes that to win the cup, he would need to become more of a team player, more of a leader for his team. He realized he couldn't do it himself. He needed a team around him. It wasn't about him. It was about the team. So they went out, they made a few minor deals, they brought in a few players, tweaked the lineup a bit, and then Ovechkin began to delegate some of his responsibility to others. He became the true leader on the team, not just because he was the best player, but because he was now willing to empower others around him and make them better. And even better than that, he seemed to enjoy seeing them succeed. And this is what we need to do as business owners, as service professionals, as solopreneurs. We just can't simply keep doing it all ourselves. We need to build a team around us. Of course, It's critical, however, that it's the right team. And this brings us to who the Washington Capitals played in the Stanley Cup final. It was the Las Vegas Golden Knights. Yes, for those of you who didn't know, Las Vegas has a professional sports team. This was their inaugural year in the league. And everyone was blown away that they actually even made the playoffs, not to mention the Stanley Cup final. This was their first year. I'm going to repeat that. And they actually made the playoffs, which is unheard of for any expansion team in any sport. But then they actually won 3 rounds in the playoffs, beating some very, very good teams along the way. In fact, they only had lost a couple games going into the Stanley Cup final. Then they ended up coming just 3 wins away from winning the Stanley Cup. This has never been done before in professional sports for an expansion team. And how did they do that? Because this is the hardest championship to win in all of sports. How did they have all of that success so quickly? Yes, they built a team, but they built a team of players from all other teams. They took players from all other teams that were playing in lower roles on all other teams, and they placed them in specific roles on this team with a chance for success. I mean, many of these other players, no one knew anything about or very little about, and they had very little success on their previous team. Why? Because they were usually put in minor roles. They weren't put in roles where they could succeed. So the management of the Vegas Golden Knights went out and they strategically built a team of players that had minor roles for the most part on their previous team, and they put them in a position and gave them the opportunity to play more and to have a more significant role on this team, and they clicked. They clicked as a team. They built a team of the right players doing the right activities at the right time. There was no one star. This was a team where everyone played and encouraged each other. They were all leaders of their jobs that they had to do, and they all played for each other. So if you want your business to grow and succeed long term, while actually having the freedom to do the things you love with the people you love, stop doing everything yourself. Figure out what your strengths are and find others around you to complement you. Bring others onto your team. Put them in a place and in a position for them to succeed and for you to succeed. Now, if you want to learn more about how our business and life mastery clients achieve this, book a free strategy session with us today. All you need to do is go to businessandlifemastery.net/call. It'll be the best 45 minutes you spend working on your business.